LGBTQ+ rights in the USA and India present a contrasting picture. The USA has federal same-sex marriage and a longer history of activism leading to greater societal acceptance, though state-level protections vary, while India's decriminalization of same-sex relations in 2018 was significant but lacks nationwide marriage recognition and comprehensive anti-discrimination laws, resulting in uneven societal acceptance and persistent challenges for LGBTQ+ inclusion and equality.
It's a comparative study looking at anti-trans legislations in the United States and its potential ripple effect in the context of Indian policy and legislations, even activism for that matter. The purpose of the research was that we are in a world which is increasingly talking about LGBTQIA rights. And as far as India is concerned, we are moving forward in that direction, at least in one way or another. So, in a situation where we lack legislations and policies, we have a tendency to look to the West, particularly the United States, in terms of direction setting. So, that is why it is important to look what direction the United States is moving towards.
Anti-trans policies in the USA could potentially have several indirect effects on India. Firstly, a rollback of trans rights there might embolden similar sentiments and discriminatory efforts in India. Secondly, some international human rights organizations and advocacy groups that work on LGBTQ+ issues in India may see a shift in funding priorities or focus depending on the political climate and rights landscape in the US. Finally, policies in the US could influence international legal norms and guidelines, which could have a trickle-down effect on how LGBTQ+ rights, including trans rights, are viewed and addressed in India.
So the central theme is to do a comparative study between the United States and India, looking at where anti-trans legislations stand in the United States, the fact that there has been a surge, and to question whether this surge that we see in anti-trans policy and legislations, does it have a deeper meaning, in the sense that does it benefit anyone, or does it mean anything, or is it simply to have an anti-trans ideation? And then to also look at the fact that even though we can look to the West for policy making, we come from a very different place as far as our history and background of trans rights is concerned. What we concluded with the research, so as far as the United States is concerned, you do realize that in terms of direct and indirect impact, these legislations and bills that are likely to be passed across states do have long-term impact, not just on the direct stakeholders, that is trans persons, in terms of psychological, mental health issues, mental health impact, right? We're talking everything from anxiety, depression, suicidal ideation, etc. We're looking at the legal implications, which is the restriction on safeguards and protections for trans rights across the United States, yes, and that includes their constitutional rights and safeguards. As far as India is concerned, potential impact can be, particularly as far as policy making is concerned and direction setting is concerned, because we are lacking any legislations or direction on these aspects. I'm particularly talking about education, healthcare, sports and public facilities, which can either result in a greater resistance, or if we end up following a similar pattern and a similar direction, then it does not bode well for Indian policy, because recent efforts have been to decolonize essentially and move away from the British legacy of homophobia and transphobia. And if we continue to look to the United States and their policy, we are essentially repeating a mistake that has been made before.